Quick tutorial for using Dragon Frame. You'll see on the desktop this icon right here. Click on that. And what it'll ask you to do is set up a new scene, which will do. We'll call this 2. It only gives you 4 letters for some reason to work with. You hit OK. This is already set to 24, but you hit OK. It's going to say where do you want to put it. So you can go to the desktop, create a new folder, call it whatever you want. Let's call it student and save it there. Okay, ignore this popped up because I have a motion control system at home that is not connected to this. So don't worry about that. Now I have just a small webcam set up here. So some of the aspects of what we're going to do is not going to be relevant because I don't have access to this, to the camera's ability to change exposure and change focus and all that. Although this might focus, who knows? Okay, so this is Dragon Frame, and this screen right here might not be here. This it might look like this when you first open it up. So we're in the main window. This is the icon up here in the corner for the main window where you'll be shooting. If you don't see that strip where you can see what frames you're shooting, you click on this little icon right here. And you click that, and now your frames will appear. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go up here in the right corner and click on the cinematography window. This window right here will allow you to adjust the focus and adjust the exposure. If this were hooked up to a DSLR camera, this area right here would have some numbers on it, and you would also be able to focus it. I'm going to switch to a different screen to show a quick tutorial that somebody else created that has a slightly older version of this. And I'm going to mute the sound on it so that I can talk over it. But you can see here's the cinematography window. At this point, you're going to want to be able to check the focus. So you can see right here, he clicked on this area, and then he's moving this little box around. Once you click on that little box, it'll show you a close-up of your puppet. And at this point, you manually go over to the camera to focus it. And then when you're done focusing it, you can click in the box again to get it to go small again and return to your window. So now you'll know that it's going to be in focus. And then you're back to live view. You want to click that little button right there that looks like a camera. Okay, I'm going to exit out of here and go back to my... So you're going to see this little camera icon right here. That'll give you to a live view so you can see your hand. If you're in this focused view, it normally would be something you couldn't see your hand in, but you would go in and focus it. I don't know if this will work. Okay, it doesn't look like it will. Okay, so once it's focused, great. These symbols right here usually will allow you to adjust the aperture and the type of film you're using and the shutter speed. You're going to want to click a test shot, and that test shot will show you exactly what this looks like with the settings you have right now. If you have your lights on, it should be decently bright. You want to make sure that your highlights aren't too stark and that your lowlights aren't too washed out. This is a good example. So the whites look pretty decent. You can still see some texture in it. And the darks are not completely black, so that's a good balance. We can talk more about lighting for our next project. So once you get your test shot and you're very happy with it, then you can go back to the main window and you can just shoot enter or hit enter or return on the keyboard. Or if there's a keypad, you can create your first frame. Now I'm going to go in there and move this character over a little bit. You'll notice I don't know where he was before because there's no reference to that. If you go down to this area right here, you'll see this little red dot. And if you start to slide it, you'll see where it was and where it is. So I'm going to hit the return again. And then I'm going to slide him a little bit further. I'll hit return, and I'll slide it a bit further. I'm doing this very quick. Normally you would spend more time, especially if you're going to be working with clay, making your movements a little bit more accurate. But once you've shot a bunch of them, now if you hit the space bar or the play button, you'll see the character starting to move. All right? That's the basics for using Dragon Frame. Once you've shot this, you can go up to File and go down to Export Movie. And then this is going to be all preset to high resolution, and you're going to export it to the desktop where your stuff is for your weekly assignments. And you're going to use that information and that film to upload to Canvas for me to grade for each week. So that's it. If you have more questions, we can go over it again in class next week, or contact me if you have any issues. Thanks.